Hey there, it's Jeff Hughes from Grain IQ. Today is May 12th, and wanted to give a little overview of some of the exciting goings on in the market. Particularly today, there were two reports that came out that we're here to overview: the CONAB Bulletin, of course, and this month's WASDE. Um, Going to break down the highlights and the key things that were in each report, as well as walk through what that means for you and your farm and your marketing practices. So, first firework that was lit off was from the CONAB Bulletin. They predicted Brazil corn production to be in the 106 million metric ton mark, which is considerably higher than our models suggest. We expect them to be closer to 100, or if not a shade under. Reason is Brazil is experiencing apocalyptic drought. It's similar to our 2012 corn year. And what's also interesting is they, much like the Argentinian reports we saw earlier this year, are slow to realize it. The market, however, judging from their reaction, seemed to have already priced this in. And then as we look at the WASDE that came out, big thing that they baked in is we're expecting a massive year in exports. That means that the USDA is also expecting there to be a lack of production in Brazil. The other highlight, though, from that's really critical to understand is that going into the 2022 crop, they are expecting record corn production from both Ukraine and Brazil, which suggests that there's going to be a considerable amount of acres planted to make up for the shortfall in this year. Other than that, ethanol usage is up as we expected, and there aren't very many other adjustments on the demand side. So the question becomes, what really matters for you on your farm? So what this report does is it essentially sets us up to see quite a bit of volatility in the markets over the next few months in the growing season. Key things are, starting with corn. We have low soil moisture, especially in North and South Dakota, Minnesota, and Iowa, as well as parts of northern Illinois. That's not going to be enough subsoil moisture to get us through the growing season, and we're going to need to have periodic and consistent rainfalls across the corn belt, especially as it pertains to tasseling. If we don't see that, we're likely to have pretty short carryout, and if that does happen, you're going to see corn prices continue to rise rapidly for the 2021 crop. However, in March, the USDA came out with a very low acreage number. So the other thing that's going to have a potentially bearish effect on the corn markets is the June 30th report, which is upcoming here in about a month and a half. Should the USDA adjust their acreage upwards, as many analysts, including ourselves, expect that they are more likely to do than not, you could see that come down to earth if we get both rain and a higher USDA acreage number. You see those two things happen, and we get a normal carryout. Corn prices will start to shrink pretty quickly. On the soybean side, however, we don't expect to see any acreage revisions or very many acreage revisions in the June reports. And that crop is going to be tremendously weather dependent as well. If we have bad weather in August in particular, you're going to see a massive shortage in soybeans, and in doing so, you'll see the price of soybeans rise considerably. So from a marketing perspective, what we have done for our clients and what we're continuing to recommend is lock in a decent amount of your corn bushels such that you know that you'll have considerable amounts of profitability in light of all this volatility. But don't overmarket, especially in advance of tasseling, as you might get a production shortfall this year if we have bad weather and a lack of rain. And then we've left the soybeans open. It's pretty critical that we have a large soybean crop, and should there be any major hiccup in that, you'll be the beneficiary of potentially sky-high prices for your 2021 new crop beans. Of course, should you have any other questions, commentary, things you'd like us to explain or talk through, we're happy to listen, happy to chat. Give us a call. Otherwise, post a comment below, and we'll be available to answer it.